Hello, everybody, and welcome to another show of the Unbound. Uh, Tonight we got breaking news updates from Dallas to New York, from Venezuela to the United Nations. We'll cover everything from sniper attacks and earthquakes to Zelensky fiery UN address, Trump's teleprompter mishap. Look at me. Jimmy Kimmel's viral comeback, and even some sports and entertainment to end on a positive note. Stick with us because you won't want to miss the ride. I would like to welcome us today, our usual co-hosts, Lords in Revelation, and our special guest, the Prophet. How you guys doing?
Been strapped in and making sure all hands and feet are on board for the ride.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna fall off.
I'm gonna get to this peak and not gonna be able to hold on.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh.
Get into it.
Oh, what's going on? Yeah. That's what we're getting into. And we're also going to be having some of our best prophet.
Cringy story time.
Yeah. We're going to have it all. Oh. Anything you guys want to start with first before we go diving right in, or did you want me to give it a go already?
Well, did you see the OpenAI? I think he's CEO said that there's an AI bubble and it's about to burst.
No, I didn't hear
No.
about that. Tell us more.
Pretty much that. He was warning the stock market with all of its. I can't remember how he worded it. But pretty much he warned that the AI bubble is going to burst soon. All these companies are propping up AI, sucking in the money from stocks and everything. And
That bubble's going to burst for the good or bad?
probably bad.
I
think
believe
is
it.
why he was warning.
I believe it. I believe it.
Because AI is not really a product.
It will stop working, ladies and gentlemen. Watch. And then all of you won't be able to do your office work. You're going to be screwed. What are you going to do then? What are you guys going to do then? Some of you I know depended on some homework. What else can AI be used besides office work and homework?
I don't really think there's many other. Design applications and whatnot. Um, like what is it like? Because I know that's what a lot of movie studios are using now is fucking like AI rendering shit. Which I heard that's what fucking the reason why what is it? Lionsgate is having a lot of trouble with because they're one of their like AI studios, fucking failing. Like they have an outdated fucking AI system, like design AI system.
Interesting. Interesting.
So apparently it's already happening.
The bubble bursting. And that ain't good.
It's leaking.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
Yep. We're screwed. Before I forget, on some positive notes about our channel, a lot of work went into the docket team last night. The docket team did an awesome job. I don't know if you noticed that. They made about 10 shorts about Jimmy Kimmel's return, which we'll be talking about that tonight, folks. We got now, according to the analytics, we got about 64 subscribers. Can you believe that? Somebody hit the horn here. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. I want to thank everybody that has subscribed to the show, and I appreciate you tuning in on checking the workout of the docket team. The docket team is killing it. Thank you so much. That's some new docket team work right there, guys. Total of 36,000 views. I know it ain't much, but I'm gonna tell you guys something. As a growing channel for me in a day, coming from just 26 to 64 is a pretty big jump. Am I right?
No, it is. Proud of you.
Oh yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, and more people tune in, and I appreciate it. We got 3 people right now watching. I appreciate you guys, and we're gonna move right along. We got many topics on our side. We got more topics on the other side, which our co-hosts here have their own topics as well. So we're going to dive right in because we have to be off before 11 o'clock due to the Kimmel show being on at 11:35, and we want to find out how much more he's going to burn it down. But talking about burning down, let's start with this with some breaking news out of Texas that has shaken both the immigrant community and the law enforcement agencies across the country. A violent attack on an ICE detention facility has once again put immigration policy, security, and public anger under the spotlight. Over the weekend, a sniper opened fire on a Dallas ICE detention facility. According to authorities, one detainee was killed instantly, and 2 others remain in critical condition. The shooter has been identified as 29-year-old Joshua John. John died at the scene from self-inflicted gunshot wound. Investigators recovered a bullet casing inscribed with the word anti-ICE, leaving little doubt about the political or ideological motivations behind the attack. The FBI has already stepped in and is treating this as a case of targeted violence against a federal agency. Now, this wasn't just an isolated act of violence. The shooter chose Federal Immigration Detention Center as symbol of one of most heated polarizing debates in American history. In American politics. Oh, God, this is too loud in my ear. There we go. Now I can hear everything better. What this attack highlights is the increasing tension surrounding immigration enforcement. On one side, you have people who see ICE as a necessary agency to protect borders and enforce federal law. On the other, critics argue that ICE has become a symbol of inhumane policies, raids, and family separations. And now, with this violent act, we're seeing anger translate into something far more dangerous: actual terrorism against government institutions. The inscribed bullet tells us this wasn't just a random, it was a message. But here's why it's complicated. Violent act like this don't usually actually bring the reform. They harden positions, they create fear, and they put detainees, many of whom are already vulnerable positions, at even greater risk. So the question becomes, where do we go from here? If immigration enforcement is becoming a lightning rod for extremist violence, what does that mean for the debate moving forward? Should ICE facilities be treated with the same level of security as, say, courthouses or even military bases? On a bigger scale, how do we have a productive national conversation about immigration without it boiling over into something like this? Because the reality is violence like what we saw in Dallas doesn't solve the debate. It just raises the stakes and puts more lives in danger. So what do you think? What do you guys think about that?
It's going to be a long road coming.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of things are about to change even more. than what it is now, for sure.
Changes the nature of the universe.
Indeed. 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 Oh. There we go. You got anything, Revelation? About this? You said you had some information.
Oh yeah, duh. So with the whole that damn shooting, fucking so yeah. Oh, give me a second. I'm drawing a blank here. Oh, so everyone's like, you know, their whole entire initial thought was throughout all the articles when it was first, reported was, oh, they, ICE agents were shot, yada yada yada, because hey, shooting at ICE, place, that's naturally what's going to happen is those are going to be the casualties. No, the only casualties were ICE detainees. So, ironically, the person that shot up the place that was aiming for ICE agents ended up killing detainees arrested by ICE agents. Yeah.
Wow.
So he literally set out to do one thing to prove a point, and literally did the opposite thing, probably damaging, like what he was going out to do. Like, he probably actually improved people's view of ICE. Like, it's like how I honestly don't know. I don't. First of all, I don't care if you hate people or not. Why is everyone's first thought to go out and be like, yeah, I'm gonna whack this person?
Yeah, I don't know why that is like the first reaction. It makes no sense.
Like, yeah, I understand. Oh, hey, you can't sit down with somebody who, like at times, like, but hell, fucking nowadays you got Twitter, you got Instagram, you got Snapchat, you got everything. Just post something and use your damn civilized brain and whatnot. It's kind of go right ahead. Like, come on now.
Right.
Kind of easy.
Yeah. Well, any other more thoughts on that? If not, we're going to move along to our next one. Here we go. Well. So as we talked about this subject, I want you guys to think about the questions that I asked. And if you missed them, just rewind back and find them. And then let me know in the comment section what you guys think on the situation on that. Because immigration isn't just the only issue in the U.S., it's global. And that brings us straight into segment 2. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Vladimir.
Oh, my God. This thing screwed it up. I didn't put it as Vlad. Zelensky's message to the world to the UN General Assembly. Now
Typical
from Dallas.
Typical docket team.
Typical docket team, exactly. Yeah, well, they shine and they fall. You know how that goes. Now from Dallas to New York, we're heading to the world stage, the United Nations General Assembly. Every September, the UN becomes the arena where leaders lay out their versions, their warnings, and their priorities. But this year, all eyes were on one man, Ukrainian President Zelensky. Zelensky's speech was more than just another annual address. It was a warning flare shot into the sky, a message not only to Moscow, not only to Kyiv allies, and I came back to look at that name, the KYIVs, Kyiv's, right? Kyiv's allies, but the entire world, his argument. If Russia aggression goes unanswered, the international system risks unraveling into chaos, with a new arms race lurking right around the corner. Zelensky opened his remarks by framing the war in Ukraine as a crossroads, moments for the 21st century. He told the assembly that annexation today means escalation tomorrow. His words were pointed, aimed at the nations that might be tempted to look the other way or accept the war as a stalemate. He issued his strongest warning yet. If Russia is allowed to continue unchecked, it will not stop with Ukraine. Other nations with territorial ambitions could feel emboldened, and the results would be destabilized world order, not unlike the arms buildup of the Cold War era. But perhaps the boldest moment came with when Zelensky directly addressed China. He said plainly, Beijing has the leverage, Beijing has the influence, and Beijing has the choice. Pressure Russia to end the war or risk being remembered as a complicit in the aggression. That call-out stunned the room. China has been cautious, carefully walking in a line between Moscow and the West. For Zelensky to use the UN platform to call them out so openly, that was a calculated move. He knows Western leaders are already large in his corner. The missing puzzle piece is China. Another piece of buzz swirling around the assembly was the speculation, even rumors of Zelensky being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. While the Nobel Committee doesn't reveal nominees, chatters among diplomats suggested his name is being floated. Whether or not that happens, the fact is being discussed, shows us how see him not just a wartime president, but as a global symbol of resistance against the authoritarianism. Let's unpack this. First, the arm race warning. This isn't just rhetoric. History backs him up. After World War II, the failure to contain aggression early led directly into a decade of nuclear escalation between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. Zelensky is saying, don't let Ukraine become the 21st century trigger point of a repeat of that dynamic. Second, this China angle. This is huge. China's Russia's biggest economic lifeline right now. They supply trade, technology, and diplomatic cover in the UN Security Council. But Beijing also carefully avoiding becoming too tied to Putin's war machine, publicly calling China out. Zelensky is trying to enforce them into the spotlight. If China ignores them, it risks looking like it's siding with Russia. If it listens even slightly, it could change the calculus of the war. Third, the Nobel buzz. Some say it's premature. How can you win the peace prize while your country's still at war? Others argue that his ability to rally international support and keep democracy standing against one of the world's most aggressive regimes itself worthy of recognition. But let's be real. A Nobel nomination is also a strategic tool. It keeps Zelensky in the headlines and keeps the moral high ground on Ukraine's side. It reminds people that 2.5 years into this conflict, Kyiv isn't giving up. There's also a deeper layer here. Zelensky knows the war is entering a dangerous phase. Western aid has slowed. Political fatigue is setting in. But both in Europe and in the United States, with election looming multiple countries, Ukraine is at risk of becoming a bargaining chip. By warning about a global arms race, he's reframing the war not as Ukraine fight, but as everyone's problem. And by invoking China, he's putting the spotlight on a power that prefers to avoid public pressure. It's a masterclass in global messaging, but the question is, will words be enough? Yeah, so where does this leave us? Let's talk about it. Will China actually step in? Beijing's interest in stability, but does that mean pressuring Russia or keep the West distracted? What do you guys think on that?
China is not going to step in, especially after the whole two nations declaring Article 4. If they've declared Article 4 already, it's that much closer to an Article 5. Because that's gotten NATO thinking, hey, shit, Russia's really, pushing the boundaries. Like if NATO gets involved, which keep in mind, China's not part of NATO. They're only part of UN. If NATO gets involved, China, and China's not part of that war yet, China will basically just be like, nope, sorry, Russia, it's all yours. Fuck off. And even if they are part of the war at that point in time, I'm giving it not that long before China just basically nopes the fuck out and tells Russia to, fuck off and deal with it on their own. That's a bunch of nations that are going to be piling into Russia. And it's not going to be pretty.
Nope. Any other input?
Because, not from me, no.
No, I interrupted you too. Go ahead.
No, I was done.
Oh, okay. Well, next question is, and make sure that all these questions that you're hearing in the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you can leave them in the comments, and we'll go back on it tomorrow to check the comments section to see what you guys said, okay? All right, moving along here. In Zelensky's arm race warning realistic? How history suggests yes, but are today's global powers too fractured to repeat a Cold War style buildup? Let me read that again. Is Zelensky's arm race warning realistic? History suggests yes, but are today's global powers too fractured to repeat a Cold War style buildup?
No. Definitely not. Literally every year there's a bunch of military, like joint military training exercises. Hell, we have the largest nuclear arsenal known to man. Like, I'd wager 3 of the nuclear missiles we have cost more than Russia's GDP annually. Like, it's not even funny. I'd wager our defense, like a third of our defensive budget, costs more than Russia brings in 5 years. Then you bring in Britain. You bring in Germany. Those are the top 3 biggest ones. Then you have Poland, who's been getting a bunch of, spicy toys from the US. You have France, who, yeah, haha, funny, let's make the jokes about France. No, they are, when it comes to war, they get pretty pissed. There's Canada, who we all know the jokes about Canada and war. It's not going to be like every time Russia, like the word Russia gets involved, everybody's like, hey, Russia, you gotta, stop doing your hocus pocus, weird shit. leave that nation alone. Like, the whole point of, like, Europe's big militaries was to, like, even in the 70s and late 80s, half of their military doctrine was to be speedy to invade Russia as fast as possible. Like, Sweden, for example, literally had their jets so fast that they would be in Russian airspace and would be flying over a base and fly back before the, radar would go off and alert the, pilots to get in their planes every single time, and they would do this like once a week. This has been a thing that's been going on. Like, it's not, oh, hey, we're not unified anymore. No, we're still unified. It's not because we're, fighting amongst each other. No, it's because we're not having priorities somewhere else, or no, we all know Russia's there. We all know, like, that is exactly why, like, specifically why the UN and NATO is there is you gotta pay 2 to 3% of your, I want to say it's either your, I would say if your GDP or your defensive budget into the UN to, make sure, like, everybody is secure and everything, blah 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 blah. Like,
Yeah.
it's not. It's so everyone knows you're honky dory sticking together, blah blah blah. And if one nation is not keeping up their end of the bargain, they're gonna be like, hey, why aren't you doing this? And they're gonna, impose some sanctions.
And we'll see what happens with that. Now, moving on. And about the Nobel Peace Prize, would awarding Zelensky now strengthen Ukraine's moral standing, or would it risk turning the prize into just another political gesture?
No, fuck no, he shouldn't get it. No, I'm sorry. No, no. No, 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 no.
Wow, he dropped a bomb on that.
No, man's a warlord. No, sorry, no. He literally has it has been proven time and time again that he has been skimming funds off of the money that should be going to his military. When you're trying to defend your own country from a nation 3 times your size and has a military almost like 3 times your size, and your nation's literally almost been destroyed, and you're hanging on to a thread, and that is barely because you have been bankrolled by half of Europe, you shouldn't be skimming money off of people. Like, especially when the most powerful nation in the world, the United States, literally has tried a peace treaty twice, and you've rejected it because they have said, listen, all we want is some minerals in your country, and we'll establish a base so that in case this happens again, you have some immediate security. And he's like, nah, fam. And because he knows that way, he can't get massive amounts of profit in his country. No, dude's scum. I'm sorry.
Wow. What a dude. That was Oh, it's not doing it. Yeah, that's a mic drop. What the heck? What was all that about? That was a mic drop, literally. Wow.
That was a strong opinion.
That was woof. That was damn. That was this.
The cream of the crop!
That was that. That's
The cream of the crop!
that's what we should have said.
The cream of the crop!
All right, enough. I don't want to bother you guys about that. Anyway, yeah, moving on. Do you have an opinion? Anybody else have an opinion?
The cream of the crop!
Make sure you leave your comments below on these questions. And what do you think? Here's the takeaway. Zelensky is still fighting two wars: one on the battlefield and in the Ukraine, and one on the global stage for attention, support, and moral legitimacy. His UN speech was another salvo in the second war. But speeches alone don't stop the tanks. And as winter nears, the world will see if his words translate into concrete action, or if allies start drifting away. With that, let's keep it at the UN. But we're moving from Zelensky's carefully calculated diplomacy to something far more chaotic. President Donald Trump took the stage between the teleprompter crash, an escalator malfunction, and a side eye from Melania that went viral. His speech had everyone talking to very different reasons. From Zelensky's polished strategic speech, as we talked about, man, I don't want to give it coverage like that. I'm going to move it on. The coverage of this, Trump took the stage to address the world leaders, the diplomats and press from every corner of the globe. He began his remarks focused on immigration, painting as a central global crisis of our time. He warned about uncontrolled immigration, porous borders, and the strain on national security. But halfway through the teleprompter, his guiding tool malfunctioned. Screens went black. Lines of text froze. For most politicians, that would be a nightmare. For Trump, it turned into an opportunity. He went off script, ad-libbing his remarks with his signature punchy style. What followed was part impromptu stand-up, part policy rant. He doubled down on immigration, pivoting to what he called a global migrant invasion, even improved criticism of UN bureaucracy itself. And then came the second mishap, this time off stage, but just as visible. The escalators that were supposed to smoothly take Trump from the podium area back down to the floor suddenly jammed mid-descent. Actually, it wasn't even descent. I thought it was upscent. It was going up, and it stopped working on him. UN staff later blamed for videographer who had inadvertently tripped the safety mechanism, but in the moment it was awkward and of course instantly viral online. Add to the Melania Trump, who was seated front row, watching intently. Cameras caught her raising her eyebrows, pursing her lips, and at one point whispering to an aide as Trump freestyled his way through the speech. Within minutes, was hashtag Melania Look was trending on X, Instagram, and TikTok. On reaction split sharply, as they always do with Trump. Supporters praised his ability to adapt under pressure, saying it proved that his authenticity and strength as a communicator. He doesn't need a script. He speaks from the heart. Critics, however, blasted the speech as chaotic and unfocused, saying he used the teleprompter malfunction as an excuse to ramble and stir up fear about immigration without offering concrete solutions. Internally, the speech raised eyebrows. Some diplomats reportedly described it as classic Trump, unpredictable, brash, and at times entertaining. Others worried it was signaled a lack of seriousness from figures who could, depending on U.S. elections, once again hold enormous global influence. On my analysis on this, here's the bigger picture. The teleprompter failure is symbolic. Trump has always branded himself as an anti-politician, the guy who doesn't need carefully scripted speeches. So in some ways, this accident actually played to his brand, but it also highlighted the risk of that style. When you throw away the script, you risk losing the message. The escalator incident, though minor, added fuel to the perception that Trump is surrounded by chaos wherever he goes. Critics will argue that it's emblematic of how his presence disrupts even the logistics of the world events. And then there's Melania. She's often a quiet figure, but her facial expressions at the public events have become their own cultural phenomenon. Her reactions at the UN were just about Trump. They tapped into a broader narrative of what does Melania really think. It's kind of a human drama internet eats alive. So here's where we land on this. Did the teleprompter malfunction hurt Trump, or did it actually help him by showcasing improvisational style? What do you guys think?
From what I've seen, it kind of helped.
I think it kind of helped.
The sign of a good, actually, the good sign of a person just in general that can, like, they can just do anything is learning how to adapt. Like, that's what you just gotta do.
The cream of the crop!
Yep. What does his immigration remarks say about where the global conversation is headed? Are nations beginning to see migration less as a humanitarian issue and more as a security threat, or more as a security threat? What do you think? If you don't have an answer, we can also leave it to the audience.
Sorry, I was replying to Dab.
Sorry.
No, I feel like the whole teleprompter failing really helped him, and I don't really have a comment on the Melania thing stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's the DACA team.
Well, I'm just not political like that. I don't.
No. I get it. And finally, and then it goes back to Melania. And finally, how much should we read into the viral moments, the escalator glitch, Melania's reaction when judging Trump's impact on the world stage? You can let us know in the comment section about that. Like always, we'll be going right back to that. But at the end of the day, Trump's UN appearance will be remembered less for what he said, more for how it all unfolded. And that, in a way, is the Trump effect in politics. Substance and a spectacle and inseparable fused. Coming up next, we move from politics back into media and culture. Jimmy Kimmel returned to late night television after 6 days suspension, and his firing monologue is raising bigger questions about free speech, comedy, and politic collidings. Kimmel's opening monologue hit the ground running. The first thing he did was acknowledge his suspension and signature mix of humor and sincerity. He quipped about the absurdity of being temporarily taken off the air, saying sometimes along the lines of, "I was off the air for 6 days," which felt like 6 years in the late night. And then the audience started to roar. He even referenced political figures directly, including a playful nod to Ted Cruz, which immediately became a trending moment on X and TikTok. Clips of him delivering that line went viral within minutes, garnering millions of views. People were talking not just about the joke itself, but about the boldness of including politicians in live monologue during such a sensitive week. But Kimmel didn't stop at the jokes. He took moments to reflect on broader implications of the suspension. He criticized political interference in media, noting how satire and commentary are being watched, critiqued, and sometimes censored in ways that's where unprecedented even a few years ago. His point was clear. Comedy isn't just for laughs. It's a mirror to society, and when that mirror is threatened, everyone feels it. Audience reactions were remarkable. The live studio crowd responded with standing ovations multiple times, not just for the humor, but for the courage to speak freely. Social media exploded too. Clips of his facial expression, the subtle pauses, the taking of punchlines, every tiny detail was dissected. Some fans joked about Kimmel's eye roll and hand gestures, and even wardrobe choices, turning them into memes and viral commentary. The show included Kimmel riffed on trending news, including Trump's UN speech earlier in the week, cleverly weaving it into jokes about teleprompters and improvisation. He made a subtle, hilarious comparison between global political chaos and the absurdity of late night production issues, earning both laugh nods from the political aware audience. His closing segment, including a heartfelt message reminding viewers of the importance of freedom of expression, and all while keeping it light and witty enough to resonate without feeling preachy. I also want to say that yesterday's, and this is not on the docket. This is improv over here. I just want everybody to know that yesterday on the Jimmy Kimmel live stream, Washington D.C., Seattle, Tacoma, Portland, Oregon, St. Louis, Nashville, Tennessee, and Salt Lake City, Utah, were not streaming it due to the this stations are owned by Sinclair Broadcast Group and Nexstar Media Group, which chose not to carry the show in response to Jimmy Kimmel's comments regarding the recent murder of Charlie Kirk. So yeah, those are the reasons and why you guys might not be able to see it in those areas if this is where you're watching the show from tonight. So you know that if you want to catch the show, you're going to have to catch it on YouTube right after it's done from its original programming time. Now, moving on to Kimmel's return is significant for a few reasons. Rating impact, ABC reported 6.3 million viewers, making it one of the highest rated episodes in recent years. That's a big number in an era where streaming dominates and late night networks struggle for attention. The engagement proves that audience are hungry for bold, unfiltered commentary. Viral moments within 24 hours, clips racked up over 15 million views online. This shows how traditional television still feeds social media narratives, with late night hosts acting like content creators in real time. Every joke, facial expression, or pause becomes fodder for discussion, commentary, and debate. Comedy as commentary, Kimmel didn't just entertain, he used satire to address political interference, network pressures, and cultural tensions. In today's landscape where comedy is heavily scrutinized, a successful late-night monologue is as much a political statement as it is entertainment. Cultural resonance, fans and critics alike are dissecting the return of what it says about the state of free speech, political polarization, and media influence. Is late night TV still a safe space for unfiltered commentary? Kimmel seems to be making a case that it is, but not without friction. So now let's really unpack this, right? The suspension ripple effect. Was Kimmel's absence a setback, or did it amplify his influence? By coming back strongly, he not only regained his audience by arguably strengthening his position as a voice for free speech and entertainment. So let me know on that. What you guys think of that? Did you guys want to put an info, or do you want me to run through it?
Yeah. Okay. So I actually have every single place that did not air the Jimmy Kimmel that are refusing to air Jimmy Kimmel.
Send it.
So for Sinclair, we have the whole entire area surrounding Seattle, the whole entire area surrounding Portland, and all the way down to the eastern portion of Oregon. Then we have the upper portion of California. Then we have the upper portion of Texas and that little weird portion of Oklahoma. We have Tulsa and the surrounding portion. The center of Texas. We have Little Rock and practically the whole entire area surrounding that. We have St. Louis and the northern portion of that. We have Birmingham and the surrounding area and the lower portion of the state. We have the middle of Georgia. We have Richmond and
Shout out to Deb.
the middle and western portion. Then we have, I think, in Kentucky, the middle portion. In Columbus, we have practically the whole state. In Michigan, we have the upper portion of the state. In New York, we have I want to say it looks to be right next to like Buffalo.
Oh, so upstate?
Yeah. And then
A few moments later.
next to St. Louis is pretty much the whole center of that. And then for next star, you have literally all of Nevada.
Wow.
Oh wait, no, Salt Lake City's Utah. So yeah.
Thank you for your donation.
So Nevada is the upper eastern portion. Minnesota, then a little bit of Minnesota. The state below that, a little bit of that. In Texas, also a little portion of that. For New York, pretty much the whole center and eastern portion. I should say also most of the northeast as well. Connecticut, practically the whole thing.
Smoke weed every day.
Richmond is covered as well. Tennessee, completely covered. New Orleans, the panhandle of Florida, and a little bit of Indiana. So yeah, there are several areas that are just basically saying, nope, we're not doing it. But in Ohio, Sinclair is getting ready to absorb Nexstar, and so 80% of the places will be owned by them. I think I read somewhere that will include ABC, CBS, and the CW, which means all those channels will not have Jimmy Kimmel on them.
Bad idea.
At least in Ohio. So yeah.
Well, those are the updated folks. Make sure that if you want to catch the show, tell them again. Revelations, where can they catch the show?
I'm not going through the whole entire list again, dude.
No. You don't have. If you can't watch the show in those places, guys, you can watch it on YouTube right after the show is over.
Yeah, I'm honestly gonna give.
Go ahead.
Go watch it on YouTube. Jimmy Kimmel's some good stuff. He has free speak. He's about that. He's about getting to the heart of the subject. I support the big guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him about a month, 2 months before ABC realizes that they're losing massive amounts of ratings because of all that.
I mean, they got all the ratings back. Did you guys not watch the final when he was apologizing? I can show you the video real quick.
I know that. Like, do you know why he got back on the air?
Well, yeah, it's for free speech.
Well, not that. A lot of influential former talk show hosts.
Oh yeah, back them up.
Basically-
Correct. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
getting there. I was
and
getting to that conversation. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so ABC
Colbert
basically was
and
like-
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, and so
everybody
ABC was,
backed them
and
up.
so ABC was like, okay, I guess we got to put you back on if we're getting pressured.
Correct.
So yeah, but you know how it works with businesses. If they realize they're losing money, which now that there's so many places not showing it, and it's covering big ass cities too, they're gonna lose a lot of money.
I'm trying.
And when money starts dipping, yeah,
my money don't jiggle. It
they're
floats.
they're just they're gonna be like, all right, dude, you've already lost ratings from us in the past. Look at what you're doing to us now. You're kicking the can. Kick rocks, dude.
Right. All right. Let me see if I can find the. I'm trying to find the video that he apologizes at the end. Let me see which one it is. Continue talking while I find this about Jimmy Kimmel.
No, it specifically has to be about that topic. I can't just go on random rants about stuff.
I mean, you could. Yeah, go ahead. Go on a tangent real quick while I find this, and then we'll continue along on the Jimmy Kimmel thing in a second.
So you know what really grinds my gears?
Whoa, copyright.
That's not a copyright. Everyone says that. Get out of here.
Go ahead. Start over. Let me be quiet.
When everyone is like, you know what? I like me some boneless wings. It's like, no. Wings have bones in them. When you say boneless wings, you're just saying chicken nuggets with extra steps. Get the hell out of here. Like, no one wants your fancy chicken nuggets. Go get chicken nuggets if you want fucking, like, with sauce. No. Just get some fucking wings like a normal person.
Aren't most boneless wings made from the tenderloin?
Yes.
From the loin.
Literally. They're literally just that, but ground up and shaped. If my knowledge serves me correctly. And then they're like fried. Like that's all it is. It's literally just like a better version of a chicken nugget. But if I'm spending my money on a chicken nugget,
oh whoops.
Where do you think I'm spending my money on? Like, come on now. We're getting a McNugget. Every person knows that.
McNuggets are the best.
Exactly.
All right. I got the video up and running for everybody to see it. If you want to watch it real quick, anybody that can watch it right now that's on the show, please check it out real quick. If you have a second. Here we go. Starting in 1, 2. Oh, wait. I forgot to fix the setting. Excuse me real quick. Little production fix up.
Number 9s. A number 9 large.
We got a copyright last time for that. All right, here we go.
Are you serious?
Yes. Look, here's the video. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
The FCC has a tradition of meddling where they shouldn't under many administrations, but it wasn't always like this. There was
Yeah, that's
an
probably
FCC
because
commissioner back in
you actually
2022
played the sound,
under
didn't
Joe
you?
Biden who was spot on. He wrote, "President Biden is right. Political satire is one of the oldest and most important forms of free speech. It challenges those in power while using humor to draw more people into the discussion. That's why people in influential positions have always targeted it for censorship." You know who wrote that? FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr, who later was appointed chairman of the FCC by this former crusader for free speech.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple, just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down.
That was also in 2022. And I wonder, how did that guy turn into this guy?
Who would you like to see replace Kimmel on late night?
Well, a lot of people, anybody could replace him. The guy had no talent. Kimmel look, he was fired, he had no talent. He's a whack job, but he had no talent. And more importantly than talent, he had no, because a lot of people have no talent to get ratings. But he had no ratings.
Well, I do tonight. You almost have to feel sorry for him. He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly. He might have to release the Epstein files to distract us from this now. Now, a lot of people have been asking me if there are conditions for my return to the air, and there is one. Disney has asked me to read the following statement, and I've agreed to do it. Here we go. To reactivate your Disney Plus and Hulu account, open the Disney Plus app on your smart TV or TV connected device. The FCC
Yeah,
has a
that was
tradition
that was that. Did you catch it? Anybody catch it over here?
Yeah,
Fix
I
this
got
audio.
it.
All right. Hopefully I fixed the audio now, because we don't want to come in double. I had to turn on the desktop audio so people could hear that. But yeah, that was that. There's many more. I'm about to show you a couple more real quick. Yeah, do you think that was like major shots? Major shots last night?
No. It is kind of like two different presidencies, though, from his last term.
Yeah, that's a fact. Here, I'm gonna just show you. I'm just gonna show you this one real quick. Give me a second. Aha, found it. Let me get this up and sharing again and get the audio fixed. Just give me a moment. This one's a few minutes long. Let me get the audio fixed first. All right, here we go.
We reached out to the chairman of the FCC, Brendan Carr, and he has, to his credit, agreed to join us from his office in Washington. And here he is now. Thank you, Chairman Carr, for being with us tonight.
You tell Whoopi over there she better show a little respect, or the only view she's getting is from under George Washington. The bridge, not the guy.
Excuse me, sir? Yeah, hi.
Well, what is this? You sneak up on me? You don't sneak up on a person. It's not nice.
I'm sorry. What is your name? Because I was expecting to talk to the chairman of the FCC.
You don't need to know my name, and I am the new chairman of the FCC.
You were appointed FCC chairman by Donald Trump?
Sir Trump, yes. I used to do this at work for the man here and there in Atlantic City.
But did I just hear you on the phone threatening Whoopi Goldberg?
No, I would never threaten Miss Goldstein. I was just teaching her a lesson about consequences.
No, well, pardon me for saying so. Maybe you're the wrong guy to talk to, but it seems like the FCC is using mob tactics to suppress free speech.
What did you just say to me?
I didn't mean any offense. You know, you can't curse or we'll get fined by the FCC.
I am the FCC. I can say whatever the I want. No.
Well, it sounds a little like threats and intimidation to me, Chairman.
Stop that. Look, it's just me, Jimmy, the chairman of the FCC, gently suggesting that you gently shut the up.
But you can't say that. That's a violation of free speech.
Oh, yeah, about that. Speech, it ain't free no more.
What? It's not free no more?
Yeah, we're charging by the word now.
You're charging by the word? How much are you charging?
It depends on what you want to say. Like, you want to say something nice about the president's beautiful, thick yellow hair, or how he can do his makeup better than any broad. That's free.
Okay. All right. seems reasonable.
But if you want to do a joke like he's so fat he needs 2 seats on the Epstein jet, that's going to cost.
Okay. Can I just ask, just for clarity, because it's a pretty good joke, how much would that one cost me?
A couple of fingers, maybe a tooth, and you know how constipated he is.
So is this how things are going to go from now on?
We also got a new motto at the FCC. Sticks and stones may break your bones.
And?
And?
Well, the rest of that is, but I think, but words can never harm you.
Oh, well, they can harm you now. Let's make sure you pick the right words. Capiche?
Okay, yeah, I guess I capiche, but I don't think, oh, it sounds like you got a call there, huh?
Hi, handsome. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. President. Okay, you got it, sir. You got it. Bye.
What did he say?
Look, I got to go. A couple of cases of Tylenol fell off a truck, and now I got to figure out how to put autism in them.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that sounds tricky. So good luck with that, sir.
Good luck with you, and I'll be watching you, Kimmel. Maybe not on ABC. That's up to you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. We reached out to the.
So yeah, there's that. Trying to fix the audio. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that was that. What'd you think of that? Anybody caught that? No? Okay. All right.
I was muted. I caught that. It was some good banter. It's definitely, comical.
Definitely.
But we don't wish to see something like that in reality.
Of
That's
course.
what we're trying to avoid, you know?
Yep. Correct.
Anyone else?
Oh, I just screwed up my screen. There we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
There we go. Just making sure it was working. It's good. We were on this topic of this, so political commentary referencing Ted Cruz, Trump, and other high-profile figures wasn't just funny; it was strategic. It positioned Kimmel as someone unafraid to engage with political realities while still keeping the tone of comedy. Viral culture, the internet didn't just consume the show, it exploded. Every micro expression, every side glance, every witty remark became part of the larger conversation. In today's media landscape, this is how influence is measured, not just by ratings, but by how much people share, debate, meme your content. The broader conversation beyond the laughs, Kimmel's monologue sparked deeper questions about media accountability and the role of satire. Are comedians becoming the last defenders of free expressions in worlds where political and corporate pressure loom over traditional media? What do you think of that question? What do you think?
I feel like it's a double-edged sword. That's good and bad. Yeah, it helps weed out some of the more, I don't know how to put that, unsavory characters, and really focus on more committed people. But in a sense, you're looking at somebody's whole life and judging them.
Correct. You got anything, Revelation?
No, not really.
Okay. And that
See
brings
what
us
the
to...
audience thinks.
Oh, yeah. Make sure that you guys leave yourselves a comment below about the question and the situation with Jimmy Kimmel. Do you think he went too far? Do you think they should have not brought him back? Let me know what you guys think. And that brings us to the next major story. On that moves from satire to serious law and policy, the Department of Justice has recently filed a denaturalization cases against convicted child sex offenders who obtain U.S. citizenship fraudulently. This isn't just a legal matter; it's a story about justice, accountability, and the way the system handles the most vulnerable populations. From entertainment and comedy, now we turn to the serious thing, which is the DOJ has filed multiple complaints against individuals who obtain U.S. citizenships under false pretense. The most high-profile case involves Hector Denieri Regalado, a man who was previously convicted of sexual abuse against children. After serving his sentence, Regalado allegedly obtained citizenship by omitting critical information about his criminal history on immigration forms. This isn't just an isolated incident. DOJ officials have indicated that they are reviewing numerous cases where individuals with serious criminal histories misrepresented themselves to gain the privileges of citizenship. In these cases, the department argues that the individuals committed fraud, deliberately deceiving U.S. authorities to gain legal rights they would not have otherwise received. Denaturalization is the process by which the federal government can revoke U.S. citizenship. It is rarely used, but it is an extremely powerful tool. Under U.S. law, citizenship can be stripped if it was obtained illegally or through willful misrepresentation. This includes concealing criminal history, lying about identity, or proving false documentation. Officials explain that these cases are particularly significant because they involve individuals who committed violent crimes, in this case, sexual offenses against minors. The DOJ statement emphasized citizens is a privilege, not a right, and it cannot be obtained through deception, especially when the applicant has a history of crimes that endanger the community. High-profile cases, for example, are Hector Denieri Regalado, convicted for sexual abuse of minors, later obtained citizenship fraudulently. DOJ seeks to strip him from his citizenship and potentially deporting him. Additional unnamed defendants in recent filings involve similar patterns, individuals who committed violent or sexual crimes and later misrepresented their stories to gain immigration benefits. These cases are filed in federal court. Defendants have the right to contest the claims. Legal experts say the process can take months or even years, depending on appeals. The DOJ emphasizes these cases are separate from routine immigration enforcement. These are targeted at those who commit serious fraud linked to violent or predatory criminal behavior. Community and victim advocacy groups have been closely monitoring these cases, as successful denaturalization can serve both justice and public safety goals. Why it's rare but important, denaturalization is not common because it's complex, requires clear evidence, and often involves sensitive legal question. But the DOJ is using it in the cases to restore trust in naturalization process, protect communities from individuals with predatory histories, set a precedent for rigorous enforcement against fraud and immigration. Some broader implications, these cases raise questions about the balance between rehabilitation and accountability. Some argue that individuals who have served their sentences should be allowed to reintegrate. Others counter that committing fraud to obtain citizenship after violent crimes undermines public trust and could pose ongoing risks. The media coverage has been intense. Expert legal commentators and community advocates have debated the ethics and effectiveness.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Oh, man.
Oh, we have a special guest, everyone.
We have a new special guest. His name is Deb. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, sir. It's good to be here.
Awesome. I wish you were here in the last segment because we were going to need you on that one. Let me keep reading here where I was, though, real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Deb. This is a good friend of ours, U.S. military, right? U.S. military?
Yep.
U.S. military.
Air Force, to be precise.
Yep. All right, what was I here? The media coverage has been intense. Experts, legal commentators, and the community advocates have debated the ethics, effectiveness of using denaturalization in these cases. Headlines range from the DOJ crackdown on fraudulent citizens with violent histories to denaturalization of justice or overreach. Quotes from officials' analysis. DOJ officials say citizenship cannot obtained through deception, especially when the applicant has a criminal history that endangers others. Legal analysis: denaturalization is rare, but when applied to violent criminals, it becomes a critical tool for public protection. Victim advocate: these cases are not just about paperwork, but they're about ensuring that predators do not use the legal system to shield themselves from accountability. So here's my discussion. So what does all this mean for the U.S.? The public safety: stripping citizens from violent criminals who lied on their applications, protect communities, and ensures the citizenship is meaningful and not obtained fraudulently. Legal precedent: the DOJ signaling that fraud naturalization will be met with decisive actions, especially when tied to serious crimes. Future cases could expand the scope of denaturalization beyond these examples. Moral questions here. We got: how do we balance second chances with accountability? In these cases, deception is paired with violent crime, so the DOJ has prioritized protection over rehabilitation. So what do you think of that? What do you guys think of that? That first question.
Well, I definitely, don't think that, you should be, what do you call it? Be just like getting into the U.S. with a fake
visa
identification.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they discover you with that, like, I'm sorry, like, that I'm not gonna defend you for like doing that. Like,
correct.
that was your own dumb fault. Like, you didn't bother trying to sneak in the illegal way. You didn't bother trying to do it the legal way. No, you tried doing it half-ass. Like, either whole-ass something or just don't do it at all. Like, nah, you just... no, you... Like, no, you fucked up so bad that it wasn't even... That they had to create a whole new law. Like, how?
It's crazy. Anybody else?
I mean, I'm kind of with Revelation on that one. If you can't enter the country legally, don't enter the country at all. I mean, that's my opinion on it. I mean, if you can't come here legally and be a decent human being, then don't come here at all. Like, that's all I'm gonna say.
He's right. Thank you. He's right. Moving on to the next is the systematic lessons. These cases highlight the importance of rigorous background checks, oversight, and transparency in the citizenship process. In short, these naturalization cases are a stark reminder that the citizenship is not just a legal formality. It is a privilege earned through honesty, and the DOJ is drawing clear line for public safety. And that's the facts on that.
Good. Like, that's what needs to happen.
I mean, you just ain't gonna let somebody who's a hardened murderer from another country into, you know, like your country, like if said other country, obviously because they have embassies, well, they may not. Let's say, hypothetically, they have an embassy in your country, and said person murders somebody in your country, you arrest them for it, said nation's embassy will find out about it when you take them to trial.
Correct.
It at that point they're gonna be like, did you dumb bastards not look into the fact that they were wanted for multiple murders in our country before you let them in? And then when you say no, we just let them in, and they're gonna be like, are you fucking stupid? Like, that's something you should probably do. Like, I mean, you honestly should vet people heavily before you let them in. Like, if it's minor crimes, like, oh, they got, drunk driving charges in their previous, speeding tickets, ooh, whoop-de-doo, everyone has those. But, like, if you were a murderer or you did, big jail time, no, don't let them in. Like, I know that's picky, but you're not gonna want those people in your nation for fear of, even if they've, reformed themselves, do you really want to take that chance? Like, unless somebody can vouch for them from their previous nation, saying, oh, hey, yeah, they've been out of jail for so many years, they've reformed, yada, yada, yada. There's just that slight chance that in your nation, now that they're, a citizen, bop, they whack somebody and, you can't just, like, you really got to be careful with it. Like, there's got to be stricter laws for who can get in, how, like, you let people in, like, it's, but then there's going to be backlash from, both sides on, oh, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. It's not as simple as everyone thinks.
Correct. Moving along, turning now to a chilling case of a political violence, Ryan Routh has been convicted for attempting the assassination of President Donald Trump at his Florida golf course. This case isn't just another criminal trial. It raises serious questions about security, political extremists, and the threats public figures face in today's environment. So what happened was on September 23rd, Ryan Routh was convicted of attempted assassination of President Donald Trump. The incident took place at one of Trump's private Florida golf courses that he owns, where Routh allegedly tried to carry out a planned attack. The conviction also includes assaulting a federal officer, highlighting the dangerous of nature of incident and the risk of posed to law enforcement during the attack. Routh now faces life in prison without parole, given the severity of his charges and the federal sentencing guidelines. Details from the investigation reveal Routh has had planned the attack meticulously, gathering weapons and surveillance the property in advance. Law enforcement intercepted him before he could execute his plan fully, but then the act itself represents a serious escalation in political violence in the U.S. During the trial, prosecutors emphasized Routh's intent in premeditation, calling the case a clear attempt to undermine the democratic process through violence. Federal authorities noted that Routh had expressed extremist political views. His actions were influenced by radicalization online. Investigators describe him as highly motivated and dangerous, underscoring the evolving nature of threats against public figures. Why this matters is that this case is significant for multiple reasons. Security gaps and challenges, even with tight security in high-profile locations, Routh's ability to plan and approach the golf course illustrates that public figures remain at risk. Federal law enforcement now faces increased scrutiny on whether enough was done to prevent such attacks. Rising political violence. This isn't an isolated incident. Experts note pattern of radicalized individuals targeting political figures, highlighting the need for enhanced security protocols, intelligence sharing, and public awareness. Judicial precedent convicting Routh for attempted assassination of a current president sets an important legal precedent. It sends a message that politically motivated violence will be treated with the utmost severity in federal courts. Broader societal implications beyond legal security concerns. This illustrates how online radicalization, political polarization, and extremist ideologies can translate into real-world threats. It raises the questions about mental health interventions, monitoring extremist networks, and the balance between civil liberties and security. So there's that. Prosecutors during trial, quote, said, "This was not a threat made in anger or impulse. This was a premeditated attempt to take the life and destabilize democratic norm." Law enforcement officials say the planning, the surveillance, and the intent were all clear. It's a miracle no one was injured during the attempted attack. Security analysis. They say cases like Routh are wake-up calls. They reveal both the sophistication of lone actors and the limits of current protective measures for high-profile individuals. Did we lose somebody? I think we're back to 4 frames.
Yeah, we lost Tom.
Oh, we lost Tom. Oh. Well, hopefully he joins us back.
Yeah,
he's back.
He's back.
Holy crap. You guys did not hear that. Now let's dig into the larger implications so we can get this one done. Preventative measures. How can law enforcement anticipate these threats before they escalate? Enhanced surveillance, intelligence sharing, and community reporting are critical. What do you guys think of that so far? That question.
I mean, yeah. Response times need to be faster for, so that communication, that would help. Let's all be honest there.
Yes. Go ahead, Deb.
That just because we do have a freedom of privacy. That is in the Constitution. That is one of our constitutional rights: is freedom of privacy.
Correct.
That being said, when it comes to something like this, and the fact that this was premeditated, and instead of
you might get it closer a little bit more to your mic.
Instead of taking care of, instead of taking care of the incident or instead of taking care of it before it become an incident, that we waited and because of the fact that we knew about it, we don't raid this dude's house and take him down. Like, if we already knew he was premeditating the assassination,
yeah,
why didn't we just go ahead and raid his ass? Excuse my language, but
it's probably stupid red tape being held up by that county's district attorney trying to get a warrant.
That's that at that point. Like when it's a threat to national security, and we know it's a threat to national security. At least the old America that we used to be would take care of it almost immediately.
That was 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah, we're in the now.
God forbid
We're
things
in the
make
now.
sense.
Yep. Moving along to the next question here, I think. Ralph radicalization demonstrates the dangerous intersection of violence, online influence, and personal grievances. Society must confront how polarization can evolve into violent action. That wasn't a question. I only had that one? Oh, okay. Well, coverage of such cases is delicate. While it's essential to report on threats against public figures, sensationalization reporting can sometimes amplify fear, inadvertently glorifying the perpetrator. With rising threats, security of political and public figures must evolve. This includes both physical protection and online monitoring to identify radicalization early. In summary, Ryan Rout's conviction is a stark reminder of the very real dangers posed by political motivated violence. It challenges law enforcement, lawmakers, and society at large to confront the evolving threat landscape. Oh, that was crazy. That's what I think on that. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about that one. Venezuela. Something happened in Venezuela.
Please don't tell me another thing happened with Venezuela again.
Well, they had a natural disaster.
Okay, so nothing with
no.
actual people.
No, exactly. They had a 6.2 earthquake recently struck near Min Grande in Zulia State. Well, there was been no confirmed major casualties yet. The quake has been felt across much of Venezuela, even in parts of Colombia, raising questions about infrastructure, resilience, disaster preparedness, and regional vulnerability. So the earthquake occurred at a shallow depth of just 5 miles, which explains why the tremors were widely felt across urban and rural areas of Min Grande. Located in Zulia State, is close to key oil infrastructure and dense population centers, which heightens the potential risk. Authorities reported the structural damage to homes and businesses, though preliminary assessments indicate no large-scale destruction. Many citizens describe intense shaking, rattled windows, and falling objects in their homes. Social media posts quickly documented cracked walls, toppled furniture, and community panic. The tremor was strong enough to be felt hundreds of miles away, including in cities like Maracaibo in Venezuela and even some borders or areas of Colombia. Officials urge people to check emergency supplies and follow safety protocols, especially since aftershocks were expected in the hours and days following the main quake. Venezuela sits near the boundary of the Caribbean and South America tectonic plates, making certain regions prone to seismic activities. While 6.2 magnitude earthquake are considered moderate in global terms, the shallow depths increases surface shaking, making damage more likely in areas with weak infrastructure. Seismologists warn the region's lack of earthquake-resistant construction could amplify the consequences of future events. Infrastructure and public responses. Venezuela's ongoing economic and public cities have weakened the country's ability to respond to natural disasters effectively. Emergency services are stretched thin, and basic utilities like electricity, water are unreliable in many areas. Local authorities immediately began assessing roads and bridges and oil facilities, as Zulia is a hub of petroleum production, which is crucial for the country's economy. Community organizations and local volunteers mobilized quickly to check on vulnerable populations, distribute water, and help clear minor debris. This earthquake may not have caused catastrophic damage yet, but it underscores a larger systematic concern. Venezuela's fragile infrastructure and disaster preparedness. Regional impact. The tremors were felt beyond Venezuela's borders, highlighting the potential for cross-border emergency coordination with Colombia and other neighbors. Economic vulnerability. Zulia State is a central Venezuela oil production. Any damage to infrastructure or disruption in operations could have broader economic implications. Experts emphasize that Venezuela's current resources and response capabilities are limited. International aid, early warning systems, and community preparedness are essential to mitigate damage from future quakes. Social media reactions reveal widespread fear, which citizens sharing videos and tips and questioning government preparedness and transparency. Quotes and standouts for these moments. Locals officials say we are mobilizing assessments teams immediately. Our priority is safety and preventing injuries. Seismologists say a shallow 6.2 quake can cause significant shaking. The lack of earthquake-resistant infrastructure is a major concern. And residents' testimonies say, I feel like the whole house was moving. We grabbed our kids and ran outside. So let's unpack the broader implications. Venezuela's ongoing economic and political issues make it more vulnerable to this natural disasters. Building bridges and utilities are not always up to code, increasing the potential for injury and disruption. Disaster preparedness. Our early warning systems and emergency protocols sufficient? This earthquake shows the preparedness must extend beyond the capital cities to remote and industrial areas. So, are early warning systems and emergency protocols sufficient? Well, of course, they need to get it into place, because if not, everybody's going to get stuck, just like the movie 2012. If you don't know what 2012 is, look it up, and then look up every other disaster movie after that. Am I right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Like they'd be not, because even we have early warning systems to detect. And I mean, granted, right now we're not getting along with Venezuela. Due to the simple fact that they want to mobilize a militia at the coast instead of trying to assist us with the cartel. But that's a whole different story. We'll get there later. That we can get to it another time.
Well, if you want to save it for tomorrow, we'll be back on tomorrow. No worries there. You have any input on that, Revelations?
No, not really. He pretty much put it to a T.
Good. Well, moving along to the next one. Neighbors, regional collaboration. Neighboring countries, particularly Colombia, felt tremors. Coordinated disasters response could help mitigate cross-borders impact. Climate and seismic awareness. While earthquakes are not caused by climate change, the frequency of extreme natural events globally reminds us of the importance of resilient and infrastructure everywhere. In conclusion, while this quake has not resulted in large-scale casualties, it is a stark reminder of the fragility of the critical infrastructure, the importance of emergency preparedness, and the need for ongoing monitoring and response capacity in regions prone to seismic activities. But from natural disasters, we now turn to a story of accountability in law enforcement. Former Sanger police officer J. Deshaun Torrance was recently sentenced to 5 consecutive life terms for sexually assaulting 4 women while on duty. This case led by the FBI is stark example of abuse of power and importance of holding the law. Holding law enforcement accountable. Sorry about that. Torrance crimes were not isolated incidents, but part of the disturbing repeated pattern of predatory behavior that exploited his position as a law enforcement officer over months and even years. He targeted women who were vulnerable, including individuals pulled over during traffic stops, arrested for minor offenses, or otherwise interacting with police in a position of trust. On that note, real quick, because we're gonna drop heavy on this, heavy on this thing. I need a drink, and you know what time that is. It's time for a mid ad of the day that we haven't done yet. So let me bring you guys up to speed here. Give me 1 second. What the heck? There we go. There we go, everybody. I'm on a success. I'm on a show called Producer Mike Presents The Movement. Check them out. Check them out on YouTube. Producer Mike Presents. The title of the show is called The Movement. So just look it up. It goes by date every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure that you tune in and check it out. We talk about NFL picks, NFL games. We also talk about World Wide Web cameras around the world. We also dive in on on flights for games for the NFL and hotels and stuff like that. Wherever you want to go around the world, we can get that ready for you for the following episode. We're going to be doing a lot of more things on that show, so make sure you tune in every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Producer Mike Presents. When you look him up, you're going to look up at YouTube at Producer Mike Presents. When it loads up, it's going to be a gentleman in an orange background that says Producer Mike Presents Jessup Show Legacy. Why Jessup Show Legacy? We were in a show with Sir Steve Jessup, comedian Steve Jessup. He's been doing podcasts for the last 4 or 5 years now on YouTube, and you can find all the videos of all the lives that we did for the last 5 years here in the lives section of YouTube. All of them shorts, full-blown videos. I promise you that it's a hoot. You can check it out. Also, we are gonna throw a quick extra sponsor here. Give me one moment. Yeah, quick sponsor here to the K-Ville Hotel and Tavern. You can always visit the K-Ville Hotel and Tavern. They're located in Kleinfeltersville, Pennsylvania. They're open from Wednesday to Sunday. Wednesday 4 to 9, Thursday 4 to 9, Friday 4 to 10, Saturday 12 to 10, and Sunday 12 to 8. Phone number is 717-949-8413. Address is 2647 Heidelberg Avenue in Kleinfeltersville, Pennsylvania. Make sure to contact them and speak to Seth or Jamie, and it will hook you up on a great dinner. I promise you that. Make sure to try out the peanut butter and jelly burger that they got going on over there. Yeah, the peanut butter and jelly burger. You know how bad I want to go try that?
No offense, but I don't think you're driving 5.5 hours to Lebanon County.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Did he drop? Hey, yo, you dropped. And I would drive 5 hours. I'm going to answer his question. I would drive the 5 hours for a peanut butter and jelly burger. And specifically, I know them personally. They will hook it up.
That doesn't even sound good.
Oh, stop. It sounds amazing.
No,
oh
sir.
Oh my god.
No, sir.
We're moving along now. We're moving along now. Make sure you hit up Seth and Jamie. You won't regret it. All right, moving along to the continuance of this article of the arrest of a former police officer, J. Deshaun Torrance, who was recently who was recently sentenced 5 consecutive life terms for sexually assaulting 4 women while on duty. Victims described feeling intimidated, powerless, and fearful, knowing that reporting him. Can somebody check if he's okay, or is he back?
Yeah, what just happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I said, oh, what just happened? You said, oh, you're not going to drive 5 hours and a half, and then you cut out. And then when you cut out, I said in a response, I said, yes, I would drive the 5 hours to go get myself.
It literally showed that nobody was on.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. There must have been that, that Discord issues like everybody else usually has, like Local Live. Shout out to Local Live. If you guys need another show, we're willing to do the Local International. That's the name that I want. Local International. Akeem, if you have another idea on the name, I'm down. But Local International, I think should be awesome.
Yeah, because I pretty much was saying
if anybody watching here sees me talking about Keemstar, make sure you send this to Keemstar. We need Local International.
Because I pretty much was saying there's no way you would drive 5.5 hours to Lebanon County in the eastern portion of Pennsylvania.
It's 5 hours from my address, so I don't know.
Yeah,
it must be a half hour from you extra.
So,
but back to the article. Victims describe feeling intimidated, powerless, and fearful, knowing that reporting him could provoke retaliation or jeopardize their safety. Despite these fears, all at least four women came out forward, providing the detailed testimonies that became central to the case. Their bravery allowed investigators to uncover full scope of his misconduct. The FBI-led investigation revealed exclusive evidence documenting Torrance' actions. Body cam footage, video recording showed repeated predatory behaviors during official interactions. Digital evidence, text messages, phone logs, and emails documented coercion and manipulation. Witnesses' statements, colleagues, community members, and the victims corroborated the patterns of abuse. Internal department failures. The investigation uncovered attempts to downplay or dismiss complaints, revealing systematic weakness in oversight and accountability. Investigators described Torrance' behavior as calculated and premeditated, exploiting both his authority and fear it instilled in victims. He systematically used his badge to intimidate, isolate, and coerce women, taking advantage of the trust placed in law enforcement officers. During sentencing, the judge emphasized the seriousness of the crimes. Quote, the defendant used the badge meant to protect communities as a tool for exploitation. The victim's courage of coming forward is commendable, and justice demands the maximum sentence. Impact on the community. Sanger, California has been deeply shaken by the revelations. No pun intended. Residents express outrage and concern that law enforcement officers could commit such crimes without detection for so long. Community leaders are advocating for independent oversight committees, improved misconduct prevention training, and stronger protections for victim reporting abuse. Local media and civic organizations have launched campaigns to increase public awareness of reporting channels and support services for victims of abuse. The case sparked conversations about the broader issue of institutional trust in law enforcement and the urgent need for transparency, monitoring, and proactive prevention. Legal context. Torrance was sentenced to 5 consecutive life terms, meaning he will spend the rest of his life in prison. This case demonstrates the federal government willingness to intervene when local authorities fail to investigate or discipline officers adequately. The FBI involvement underscores the seriousness with which sexual assault and abuse of authority are treated when systematic patterns emerge. Experts have noted that the case could set a precedent for future prosecutions of officers who exploit their power and the mechanisms needed to prevent such misconduct. This case highlights multiple critical issues. Abuse of power turns weaponizes authority of personal gain, harm, and undermining public trust in law enforcement. Federal oversight, the FBI role illustrates the importance of federal intervention. When local oversight fails or misconduct span multiple victims. Victim advocacy, the courage of victims demonstrates the necessity of community support systems, legal protections, and counseling resources. Policy implications. The departments nationwide may review internal protocols, reporting system, and training procedures to prevent similar abuses. And then cultural change beyond policy. This case highlights the need for a shift in policing culture, one that prioritizes ethical behavior and accountability and public trust. Standout quotes of this judge at sentencing. Said this is a stark violation of public trust. The maximum penalty is justified to ensure justice for the victims. FBI statement: we are committed to investigating allegations of misconduct and law enforcement abuse of power will not be tolerated. Victim advocate coming forward was terrifying, but it was necessary. This sentence sent a message that even those sworn to protect the public will be held accountable. So, here we go. Community leader. Restoring trust will take time, but this sentence is a step in the right direction. Department must learn from this, implement real change. So, let's see here. Now, let's break down the larger societal implications. The case illustrates how unchecked authority can lead devastating consequences. Officers hold immense power in misconduct and erodes trust across entire communities. Independent oversight, transparent investigations, and federal investigations are critical to preventing systematic failures. Victims and communities need robust support network to encourage reporting and healing, which is essential to rebuilding trust. The department may implement stricter screening, behavior monitoring, and whistleblower protections, and continuous ethics to training to prevent further abuses. Beyond Sanger, this case sparks a conversation about policing standards nationwide, highlighting the urgent need for reform to prevent abuse of power. In conclusion, the Torrance case is not just a story of individual crimes. It's a wake-up call for law enforcement accountability, the necessity of oversight, and the critical role of federal agencies. When local systems fail, it reminds us that vigilance, advocacy, and structural reforms are essential to protecting communities and ensuring justice. What do you think?
I'm gonna kneecap this whole fucking article.
Right?
Okay. So... yeah, sure. I agree that was entirely fucking wrong. But all we ever hear is police fucking doing something wrong. You know who you never hear doing something wrong? Doctors, lawyers, judges. You want to know why you don't ever hear them doing something wrong? Because they use their fucking influence to cover it up. Doctors, immensely powerful, a public figure. Oh, well, sorry. I hold so and so's life in my hands. You should pay me money or have sex with me to yada yada. See where that's going? Lawyer. You insert, thing, or I'm going to give you a stiffer sentence. Judge. I will throw this sentence, or blah 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 blah. You see what I mean? They totally fucking extort their their position to do whatever the fuck they want. But no, we only ever hear of police doing something wrong. Like, everyone does something wrong, but no, because the media wants to focus on police doing something wrong. Like, I get it. Police do stuff wrong, but because they're the ones consistently out there, like, that's who gets focused on. Focus on somebody else and you'll realize that fucking other people do stuff wrong. Like, you did stuff wrong as a fucking kid. He did stuff wrong as a kid. Fucking Susie from the street did stuff stuff wrong as a kid. But, did, anybody hear about it? No. Unless somebody fucking went babbling to somebody, then, like, motherfuckers, like, it just pisses me off about that shit. Because you're not going to know about it unless you focus on, other people.
Yep.
Shit pisses me off. Well, you're leaving whole entire groups unaccounted for that are literally have more influence than the police. Like, judges have the most fucking influence and can literally just hold mass amounts of groups in their hand. And you're just being like, they don't do anything wrong. District attorneys and lawyers don't do anything wrong. The people who hold our lives in their hands, aka doctors, don't do anything wrong. They totally don't fuck up with, malpractices. Fucking, oh.
Don't get the man started.
I mean,
go ahead.
The only reason, like, I can agree. To a point, I agree with you there, Revelation. But at the same time, part of the reason you don't hear about like doctors and malpractice is because there are laws that prevent stuff like that from being put on the news. HIPAA laws, privacy laws, all sorts of stuff. And if Delta was in here, he'd probably be the one telling you this. The reason you hear about cops and honestly, this is the first I've heard about a cop getting in trouble for fucking for abuse of power with the badge and fucking around like
it's not the first one.
This is my first time hearing it. Because it happened. What's surprising is it happens here in my little ass town. Everybody in the town knows that there's a couple of law enforcement officers that like to use the badge to get underneath women and have their way with them, and there's been one case that's been exposed, and it's ruined a mother and daughter relationship that I was close friends with. My mom is close friends with the family, and yeah, it's not a good ordeal.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Sending my mad love and blessings.
No, it is what it is. The daughter is not very smart for doing what she did because she was married and had a child, and then decided to start try to work her way up, because she's the animal control officer in town. So she's trying to work her way up to be part of the fucking police force, whether it be highway patrol or city. So she started sleeping around with one of the cops. And
if you got a kid and you start sleeping around on somebody, you ain't got any sympathy for me.
That's kind of where I'm at. But it's just like, anyway, back to the main topic.
Oh, back at it.
cops are supposed to be the representation of the law. And when they break the law, who else who else is there to who's going to step up, and who's the next one to step up and take care of that and uphold those laws? The federal government. So therefore, that stuff gets put out there and broadcast to national news because the public deserves to know when a law enforcement officer, a person that is supposed to uphold and represent and enforce the law, breaks the law. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I agree with that, but you have your more influential people, and
as
it's
doctors are
like,
influential.
well, I mean, like lawyers and judges, and nobody gives a shit about when they do something wrong.
I mean,
like lawyers way more influential than police. It could be like, oh hey, by the way, you can only, it's like you're either in for manslaughter 1, 25 to life, or if you convince your family to pay me $90,000, I can go for assault, and you'll only be in here for maybe a year and get like 10 months probation. See where that's fucked up? And if they get caught, they get called out and put before the ethics committee and maybe only lose their bar.
I get
instead of getting arrested, like the scum they are for that.
Like I said, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, there are certain. I don't know if there's. I don't know if there's. Well, I don't know about, because we don't have any lawyers or any judges. I don't know if King, if you have any lawyers or judges like on speed dial, but I know with doctors there are certain HIPAA laws.
So here's the whole thing with doctors. In order for a doctor to get found for malpractice, a patient or patient's family has to file a malpractice complaint or lawsuit against said doctor. Then another doctor has to be like, yes, this is worthy of said malpractice complaint. They agree to it, and it then goes. I want to say to a court, some weird doctor court, I guess. They then do their own thing, and fucking, the punishments get dealt in-house, which is just completely fucked up. Same thing with lawyers. Why do they get their own special in-house fucking bullshit when cops don't get that either?
Cops have an internal affairs.
Yeah, cops get internal affairs, but then when they get found guilty, they get put before a civilian court. Doctors, judges, and lawyers get their own specialized courts for punishment, unless they commit murder or bullshit like that. See where I'm getting at with this?
Because, yeah, and I know there's a specific reason for it. Like the tribunal is. I mean, cops even have to go before a tribunal. They have to go before an internal affairs tribunal before they go to court. Okay, so I can almost guarantee you that even doctors, lawyers, and judges, if they actually do something stupid and fucked up, they end up going to court. I'm pretty sure it's been broadcast that there have been multiple judges that have been in court for malpractice, and multiple doctors that have actually been to court for malpractice. And even I'm not sure about attorneys because I don't think you hear very many attorneys getting. I think I'm pretty like. And if there is, they've normally been able to win the case on their own without hiring anybody else because I mean they
No, they'll
research
just
the law.
represent themselves.
Yeah, they research the law. Then like that's their job. But everything that's like, but there's a reason that a doctor's tribunal or a judge's tribunal takes longer than an internal affairs tribunal for a cop. There's more things that they have to look at. They have to actually cops have too many ways to provide proof on their like to basically rat on themselves that if they actually do something wrong and they try lying about it, it's on their fucking body cam or it's on their dash cam. I mean, any way you look at it, a cop, a judge and a lawyer can get around the law because they research the law. It's their job. One researches the law to either prosecute and make someone look guilty or defend and find the loopholes and find ways around it and make the person in that's make the defendant look innocent. Judges or the other researches the law to enforce punishment, and that is solely that.
They have way more power than that. They sign on. They can enforce enforce warrants, everything.
Yes,
but I get what you're saying.
The warrant has to come from the law enforcement. Okay, law enforcement has to find a reason to issue and have a judge sign off on a warrant.
I've heard of some scummy judges being like the law enforcement can have literally everything like perfectly found out, and the judge is like,
Okay.
Well, I just woke up from an. It's like I just woke up from a nap. No, you don't. I'm not signing off on this warrant because I just woke up and I'm a little groggy. It's like, bro, really?
Little reminder to everybody that 11:35 in 4 minutes, Jimmy Kimmel goes live again on late night. Make sure to tune in. 11:35 Eastern time. Go ahead.
But the law enforcement has, like I said, has way too many ways to basically rat on themselves. And like it's almost impossible for a law enforcement officer, if they actually do something wrong, to not be charged with whatever they did. And yes, there have been judges that have issued bullshit warrants. And I mean, unfortunately, you can't really get mad at you can't really punish a judge for issuing a bad warrant or a warrant that shouldn't have happened. Or
I mean, like I said, I'm not defending that cop or anything like that. It's, there should definitely be,
but I mean,
maybe some more higher standards set for the other ones on how to,
in my opinion,
look into.
In my opinion, the fact that he was using the badge to prey on women, he deserves a very turned up RPM, low turn wood chipper ride, and to be bagged up and thrown away.
You didn't hear that, everyone. Or we're all just gonna imagine that you heard him say a slow time rotting in prison, meeting friends. For our safety reasons on this 18 plus, not 18 plus plus. We haven't unlocked this. We haven't paid for that feature yet.
What's 18? What's the difference between 18 plus and 18 plus plus?
It's a joke.
Okay. Everybody,
I don't know if that's
18
actually
plus,
a thing.
Everybody here should be adults.
Yeah, I don't know if 18 plus
And-
plus is actually a thing.
I'm sure that there are multiple people in the chat that would agree with me on what I just said.
Probably. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you either.
And I say that as I take a sip of my nice ice cold Dr. Pepper and relax.
Yes,
All
the
right.
pepper, the pepper with a doctor and an undisclosed, field.
Yes, no, his field is 23 different special flavors.
Well, following now that discussion on law enforcement and accountability, now we turn to a developing natural threat in the Caribbean. Puerto Rico is currently on a hurricane watch as the storm strengthens in the Atlantic. While forecasts are still evolving, authorities are urging residents to prepare for possible impacts. This segment will cover the storm, current status, projected path, government response, historical context, and broader implications for climate resilience. Meteorologists at the National Hurricane Center, the NHC, are closely monitoring a tropical system that has now reached hurricane status in the central Atlantic. Key details are Category 1 hurricane with sustained winds of 75-80 miles an hour, gusts potentially exceeding 90 miles an hour. Forecast models indicates a trajectory that could bring Puerto Rico into the storm's potential impact zone within 48-72 hours. The path remains uncertain, so residents urged to prepare regardless of the exact track. Heavy rainfall could lead to flash flooding, landslides, and mudslides, particularly in the mountain regions and the areas with poor drainage. Coastal areas may experience elevated water levels and localized flooding, especially in low-lying neighborhoods. The hurricane is moving at a roughly 12 to 15 miles an hour, which could prolong heavy rain and wind effects over the island if the path shifts closer. Meteorologists emphasize that even a Category 1 storm can be a life-threatening. Do not underestimate the storm. An NHC forecaster said the residents should make preparations immediately. Delaying could put lives at risk. Puerto Rican authorities have already begun implementing emergency measures. Officials are reviewing flood-prone and landslide-susceptible areas, preparing to issue voluntary and mandatory evacuations orders as condition warrants. Emergency shelters across the island are being stocked with food, water, medical supplies, and backup generators. Shelters are also coordinating for residents with special medical needs. Government agencies are urging residents to stock up on essentials like water, non-perishable food, and medication. Secure homes, particularly loose objects that could become projectiles and strong winds. Review family emergency plans and evacuation routes. Federal coordination, FEMA is monitoring the situation, has offered resources to support local authorities if the hurricane impacts communities. Residents have mixed reactions, balancing caution and with fatigue from previous storms like Hurricane Maria in 2017. A catastrophic damage, widespread power outages, and a humanitarian crisis left a lasting impression. Hurricane Fiona in 2022 highlighted continued vulnerabilities in infrastructures and emergency response. Officials stressed that preparedness is key, noting that even moderate hurricane can cause significant damage if preventing measures are ignored. This hurricane watch isn't just about one storm. It's a window into broader climate resilience, challenges facing Puerto Rico and the Caribbean. infrastructure vulnerability, roads, bridges, electrical grids, and water systems remain susceptible to hurricane damage. Power outages and disrupted services are highly likely. One second. Emergency preparedness, early warnings, evacuation planning, and public awareness campaigns can save lives. Authorities are prioritizing high-risk areas, including mountains and regions and flood zones. Community coordination, residents are playing a critical role by sharing information, preparing emergency kits, and helping neighbors, especially vulnerable populations like the elderly and those who have medical needs. Rising sea surface temperatures contribute to stronger, more intense hurricanes, making preparation increasingly critical. Scientists warn that the Caribbean may experience more frequent and severe storms in the coming decades. The NHC forecaster says even Category 1 storms can produce life-threatening conditions. Residents should not wait for the track to be finalized before taking action. Puerto Rico Emergency Management Director also says we are coordinating shelter supplies and evacuation routes. The safety of our residents is our top priority. Local residents are also saying we've seen hurricanes before, but we're taking this seriously. Stocking up early gives us peace of mind. Local media are broadcasting updates hourly, providing residents with the latest projections, flood warnings, and safety measures. Social media is also active with communities sharing tips, supply locations, and assistance offers. So let's break down the larger implications. Preparedness saves lives. Historical data shows that early action reduces casualties and property damage. Puerto Rico has learned from past storms that preparation is critical. Infrastructure's investment, hurricanes underscore the need of stronger building, improved drainage system, and more resilient power grids. Climate awareness. Storms are intensifying due to climate change, making adaptation essential. Residents, authorities, and policymakers must anticipate these changes. Community resilience, collaboration, and public awareness are essential for minimizing damage and ensuring rapid recovery. Community networks, volunteer programs, and communication channels are all play a critical role. In summary, Puerto Rico is on hurricane watch, and while the storm's full impact is still uncertain, authorities emphasize vigilance, preparation, and proactive safety measures. The storm highlights how natural disasters, emergency preparedness, and climate trends intersect in the Caribbean today. But from natural disasters in Puerto Rico, we now turn to the global unrest around the world. Citizens are protesting for justice, transparency, and action, often in response to climate crisis, governance failures, and corruption. Today, we'll focus on two major hotspots, the Philippines and India, examining causes, impacts, and what these protests tell us about broader global trends. In the Philippines was right protests. Sorry about that. Give me a second. This moved out of my way. In the Philippines, widespread protests erupted over allegations of corruption linked to flood control and disaster management. Citizens claim that mismanagement of public funds, poor urban planning, and lack of oversight have exacerbated flooding in major cities, leaving communities vulnerable to seasonal storms. Protesters demanded accountability from a local national officials, citing embezzlement of infrastructure funds intended to drainage and flood mitigation projects. Many demonstrators carried banners reading, "Stop stealing our safety and protect our families, not your pockets." The protests were largely peaceful, but police used crowd control measures, including barricades and limited dispersal tactics to manage gatherings. Officials responded with promises to investigate corruption claims and improve infrastructure planning, but activists expressed skepticism. Protesters say every year the floods get worse, yet officials ignore us. We need real change, not empty promises. The government spokesperson says we are committed to auditing funds and ensuring projects are completed properly. Public safety is our priority. Analysis, the Philippines protests highlight how mismanagement and corruption intersects with climate vulnerability, citizens are increasingly unwilling to tolerate negligence that puts lives at risk, reflecting a global trend where environmental crises are driven political activism. Um, But moving on to in Kolkata, India, a sudden cloudburst triggered devastating floods, killing at least 11 people and displacing hundreds. The flooding exposed weakness in the city's drainage system and emergency preparedness, fueling public anger. Residents organized protests calling for better urban planning, improved drainage infrastructure, and faster disaster response. Social media amplified the protests with videos showing submerged streets and stranded residents, sparking national outrage. Citizens held banners reading "Fix our city" or "Fix our problem." Or fix yourselves, emphasizing the link between governance failures and natural disasters. Local authorities acknowledged the challenges, but stressed the unpredictability of extreme weather events. Nonetheless, citizens criticized the slow response, with residents saying, "We faced warnings, but nothing was done. Lives were lost because the system failed us." And officials' statements say, "We are deploying emergency teams and assessing long-term long-term solutions. Safety remains our top priority," they say. The analysis here that is Kolkata protest demonstrates how climate events can ignite political action. When extreme weather meets inadequate infrastructures and governance, citizens hold authorities accountable. This pattern is increasingly common worldwide, particularly in densely populated urban areas vulnerable to climate shocks. Looking at both Philippines and India, we see a clear pattern here. Governance failures, mismanagement, corruption, and lack of transparency erode public trust. Floods, with climate crisis, floods, storms, and extreme weather amplify existing vulnerabilities, making disasters more catastrophic. Public anger and activism. Citizens are no longer passive. They demand accountability and tangible action from leaders. Global trends, similar protests are emerging worldwide, from Latin America to South Asia, showing that climate change and government failures are increasingly linked to social unrest. Experts emphasize that protests in these contexts serve a dual purpose: immediate calls for justice and long-term pressure for systematic reform. They also highlight the importance of resilient infrastructure, disaster preparedness, and transparent governance as tools to prevent unrest. See here. So unpacking this, citizens' accountability, like you already know. We talked about that. People worldwide are demanding government to take responsibility on the infrastructure, emergency preparedness, and corruption. Climate politics are linked to extreme weather events, increasingly serve a catalyst for political mobilization. Cities, nations that fail to adapt risk social unrest. Global connectivity, social media spreads awareness, inspires solidarity, and it creates pressure on officials to act quickly. Policy implications: government must invest in climate resilient infrastructure, disaster management, and transparent governance. Failure to do so risks further protests, loss of life, and political instability. Lessons for listeners: these protests highlight the intersection of environment, governance, and public engagement. They remind us that accountability, preparation, and resilience are not just local issues; they are global imperatives. In conclusion, the protests in Philippines and in India illustrate how climate crisis and government failures are fueling public action around the world. These events underscore the urgent need for government to act proactively and not reactively, to protect lives, build trust, and prevent unrest. Now, before I move to the last little bit here of the segment, because we only have one more and then we're done, Lords, did you have anything about technology, bud? Give your old buddy Jay a rest on reading real quick. Lord, are you there?
He do his tech thing in the very beginning.
Did he do this tech thing in the very beginning? I thought he had more.
About the AI.
Yeah, I thought he had more. I thought he had more. Well, let me see where we're at here, and then I'll let you know. Blah blah blah. Okay, and this is the last thing, and then we end it. After covering global challenges, let's shift to something uplifting. Entertainment and cultural events this weekend that brings communities together and offer positive reprieve from music and comedy to wrestling and cultural milestones. There's plenty of joy. So things happening this weekend. We got the San Antonio Gridiron 40th anniversary satire show, celebrating decades of comedy and sports parody with special appearances from the past cast members. Anna Gabriel concert in Houston, September 27. The iconic Latin singer performing classic hits and new music for fans. Fort Lauderdale, WWE NXT No Mercy event, September 27. High energy wrestling matches with surprises and storylines culminating in the weekend spectacle. Brooklyn, you got NBA YoungBoy tour stop at Barclays Center, sorry about that, blending live energy, fan interaction, and chart-topping hits. We also have Rajath Comedy Festival, September 26th to October 9th. International comedy stars performing, showcasing humor from around the world and promoting cultural exchange. How live entertainment fosters community connection and shared joy. Historical significance of events like the Gridiron 40th anniversary. It's a cultural impact. The role of music, comedy, and performance is providing a mental and emotional break from stressful news like we have talked about today, encouraging listeners to enjoy these events safely while celebrating arts and culture. Yeah. So keeping the energy high this weekend, guys, to, forget about all the damn problems. Anything else you guys want to add for tonight before we head out?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay. Well, don't miss this weekend as well. The Bills versus the Saints this weekend at Highmark Stadium, home of the Buffalo Bills. So make sure you tune in on that. I think it's at 1 o'clock or something, right? I think it's at 1 o'clock.
You get Revelation's quote of the day.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So quote of the day. Okay. So daily reminder, everyone, that when making egg salad, first you're gonna crack a couple eggs. You're gonna scramble them up. Then you're gonna take some macaroni. You're gonna take some mayonnaise. That's for a different recipe. Ignore that. And you're gonna throw the mayonnaise in there. And you're gonna take some whatever type of bread you have. Hopefully not wheat bread. That's gross. Then you're gonna take that bread. Put it on the plate you have. Hopefully not a small plate because that means you're hungry. If you use a big plate, we want the big plate because we're hungry, growing people. Then what you're gonna do is after the mixture has been made up, you put it on the bread and you put it on there. And now here's the real important part that'll make it really special. You take the chips and you plop them on there, and you combine the top piece of the bread and where all the stuff is, and you plop it on there, and you hear that nice crunch sound because of the chips are on there, and then you bite into it, and it's all nice and tasty.
Is that all?
Yes, that is all.
Oh my God. That is brought to you by Revelations.
Good idea.
That was a good idea. You got anything to end it with? Any topic that you want to bring up real quick, Dad, before we head out? Anything that has been bothering you about something that happened? Anything at all?
I mean, no, not that I really think of.
Well, we appreciate you coming in tonight on the show, Dab, and hope we catch you on the next one.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
for your
Thank you
service,
having
for
me.
sure. Thank you for your service and everything that you do, man.
Alright, for it.
All right. All right. Well, you know what time it is. It's time for the ad of the day. The closing ad of the day.
Oh,
to close
closing
out.
ad.
Huh?
No, I was like, wait, didn't we already do the ad?
No, it's my closing one. The closing one I do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, after that interruption, to close out today's episode, remember if any of today's stories felt heavy, you are not alone. If you or someone you know is struggling, call or text 988 or reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. Take care of yourself, your loved ones, and your community. Even amidst challenges, there are moments of entertainment, sports, and connection to hold on to. So this wraps up the show today, guys. From global protests, national threats, to the weekend top entertainment and sports highlights. If you found value in the episode, here's what to do. Subscribe to the Unbound podcast so you never miss an update. Hit that bell, that little bell right down there, that bell icon, to get notifications the moment we drop new episodes. Share this episode with friends, family, or anyone who needs the real, unfiltered news. Remember, we go beyond headlines, giving you the context, discussion, and perspectives you won't find anywhere else. Even though it's Wednesday, you're already getting the jump on the week. So stay informed, entertained, and ahead of the curve. So subscribe, hit the bell, enjoy the conversation, because being Unbound isn't just a name, it's a movement. Catch you next time, and stay informed, stay sharp, and stay unbound. Where is it? Take it easy, guys. Shout out to the Jessup Show podcast. The Buckland, Seth and Jamie, Eddie Weber, Lando Smiles, Crawface, specifically Crawface. And as always, shout out to my dad, the biggest supporter of the show. Thank you to all 68 subscribers that we had tonight. It's been an honor and a privilege. We'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you for the 51 viewers that we had today.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah,